This session brought to you by Odyssey Games for pre-orders and sealed product, CCG Prime for tons of singles and supplies, Cardo Doko for international rulers looking for products, and fowlibrary.com for articles and wonderful deck lists, as well as our guest lecturer members Vite Ramen and Darren Noblock. Class is in session. Hey there, rulers, DMO73 here, and welcome back after a long week of Force of Will to your favorite ever live Force of Will podcast. It's Office Hours featuring myself, DMO73, who's been screaming in my car and in my office all day, and I've been joined by Paul Reisman.
I like my chicken katsu bites.
Who's been listening to me scream in my car in my office all day, and Mike Rance.
Rest in peace, sweet moon children.
We have so much to talk about today, more than I ever thought we would ever have to talk about today, when I was like, oh, this will be a fun week of just casual spoilers. And then today at like 12:30, I Spy was like, nah. Just so much to talk about. And so very excited to be able to jump into that conversation because it's huge and awesome and great. Do want to share a couple of things though. If you haven't already gotten your pre-orders for the next set, you're certainly going to want to at this point. Odyssey Games does have pre-orders up for it, which is awesome. Also, I don't know if any of you all follow the YouTuber mcole40, who is a Yu-Gi-Oh YouTuber, but we actually just did a video with him as a collab on his channel talking about his experience at FowFest, and we'll have another video coming up with him soon, which was an interview one-on-one with me that me and Robbie did, which was awesome. So you should definitely go check that out when it comes out. Give it some love and help to show that the algorithm has multiple sources of FOW content, which is great.
Robbie had a lot of really good things to say about ABC, so I don't know what the hell you did to him, Jeremy, but you really sold him.
We had a great time. It was good. And then also, as always, if you like what we're doing and want to consider supporting the channel financially, you can click that join button down below. No pressure though, even just clicking the subscribe button goes a long way to help boost the channel, and we appreciate you. So we're going to start about the water spoilers. We're just going to go through the spoilers as very fast as possible because there's not a ton there.
It's literally the same thing as the rest of them in different colors.
A lot of it is the very same, similar kind of stuff with some slight tweaks. And then we're going to talk about all this insane news. And then a new segment coming to this podcast from now on is, I don't know what we're going to call it, Game Time with Mike. We'll workshop the name. So we're going to have a game hosted by Mike Rance. We're going to end each podcast every episode with a little bit of a game, just to kind of end on some brevity each week. So let's talk about these spoilers. First off, we have Solarized Gear's Water, which works exactly the same as everything else. Mega Drybone, keep up the great work, guys. Thank you so much. You keep up the great work too, Mega Drybone. We appreciate you.
You're breathtaking. Anyway.
Yeah, you're breathtaking. So Solarized Gear's Water, little shark robot guy, works the same as all the other little Gears dudes. Pretty cool artwork for these. I mean, like, little underwater shark band. I like it. Going to the next one, though, we have Solarized Guard Water, which we've seen this before. It bounces up to 2 things back to the hand and then does the cycling. The double bounce is really nice considering it can hit anything or your own things. I think this is pretty solid. Stat line is a little bit to be kind of not super impressed by, but
it's
this guy could potentially just be, but he could potentially be a 1-drop. So like, okay, sure. I'll take it. Well, notice how I'm going to burn through the water cards while Paul's eating, so Paul can't give any thoughts about any of the water cards. Just not allowed.
No thoughts. No thoughts. Chicken katsu.
They're good.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Hey, there we go.
There we go. Titan of Water, Solaris. The Titans all do exactly the same thing, so there's nothing really to share about there. It's a Titan. It's a Waterman. We're doing the thing. Where we do have a first big change, though, is the addition. Cascade of Water, Solaris. So has the usual things, and its its tap ability is remove target non-resonator spell of total cost 2 or less to the bottom of its owner's deck, and then you remove it. This is a essentially delayed cancel without actually being a cancel because it just removes the card from the chase. This card is insane. Like, not even in just Solaris decks. This card is just insane. Like, the control mirrors will turn out to have, like, this card will be a mirror breaker in that. For a long time, it was like Loki's Insight, But now we have this card where it's like, oh, I've got 2 will at the end of your turn. Flash and Cascade. I'll just sit on that for a little bit until we get into a fight, and then I'll be able to interact with you. Like, this is very cool. I like this card a lot.
Appreciate free
Paul?
cans in his house.
This is Fiola now. Feel old yet?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
yeah. This is Edition
better.
Fiola. That you don't have to use right away.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's very, very cool. It weirdly hits like the thing that Loki's Insight doesn't hit. In the sometimes you're just like, ah, man, I'm playing in this match, and the cards that I wish I could take out of your hand don't have quick cast. Unfortunate, but with Cascade, you're like, well, I'll just pay 2 at your end phase and cast out a Cascade. If you cancel it, sure, that's fine. But if you don't, that's just going to sit there until I'm ready to use it. Like, I could see this starting to find its way into like 2-ofs just in decks that have the will to be able to pay for it just to sit on as a cool tech.
Let's just also recognize that if your ruler is blue, this is just a 1 cost.
No, it's free with Solarization.
If you don't control a resonator.
If you don't control a resonator, this can just be
if
free.
you're playing blue.
So Olivia really likes this card.
Vampire 989. Every day another one of these gets revealed. Ainz is eating good. You say that. But someone didn't watch the video over on the official channel today. Just wait. You're gonna be we're
upset.
Putting Ainz on the bread
those
line.
Words
We're
like I eat my
Ainz
chicken katsu bites.
Ainz is not even remotely eating. Anyway.
Yeah, he's in the bread line. For sure. We'll
Please,
talk
sir,
about that in a
have
little bit,
some
though.
more.
This card, I really like this card. I think it is probably the most splashable of all of the editions so far. I do think you will see this card as like a 2-of mainboarded, if not sideboarded, in any deck that can sit on water that's playing to the mid to late game. This is very good. Like the downside of it is also negligible at all, but it's just like I'm just gonna work to build to be able to be responsive. It's great.
Yeah, any
Cascade
blue deck.
block an enemy Cascade? No, it cannot, because it only targets spells. So it can't. Well, sorry, it could target another Cascade while Cascade is being cast, but not while Cascade is using the activate ability to remove something. Because casting Cascade counts as a non-resonator spell, but tapping Cascade to use the bounce ability is not a spell; it's an activate ability. Great question, though, Java, for sure.
Yeah, it's a good nuance. I was just gonna say, like, this makes blue less reliant on green,
Yes.
in terms of it like being able to interact with the chase. That being said,
Blue-white.
it also makes it better with green.
Well, this gives blue-white a lot more like comfort not playing into the green at all, because we already have like good disruption in blue-white, but there's always been like a little bit of a subtlety lacking. This gives the blue-white kind of control-ish elements, like blue-white-black control-ish elements, a lot more comfort, which is really good.
Yeah.
Next up, we have Mermaid of Solaris. So this is the kind of like the ethereal, the whatever. And then it says, if you would banish an addition, you may banish this card and remove a water card in your hand from the game instead. And then it has the same kind of cycling of when it's destroyed. This card's pretty dang good, especially when you combine it with like if library sticks around, or even the water Solaris, right? Because water Solaris says, I think it does say banish, right? Let me go back and check it out. Nope, removes it from the game instead, so it doesn't impact that. But it's got some cool applications. Mermaid does. Go ahead.
The effect of sacrificial altar to sack itself to get something doesn't remove the counters from it, right?
No.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So with Mermaid, you can just sack Mermaid instead and have double altar.
Ain't that wacky?
Neat.
Steven just won. I'm glad you and I had the exact same garbage thought.
Yeah, no, this is a cool card. I like this card a lot. Remember what I said about blue, white, black? Hey.
Stop. We're not playing Esper Control today, Jeremy.
I'm playing Esper Control. You have no idea how fast I'm going to sleeve up blue, white, black, hide, and I'm just going to go in. Like, I'm immediately.
Oh my
Next up, we have Niklaus's Corollas, so the token generator for blue, which is just 5 water flower tokens that have banish this card, return target non-magic stone, non-chain ruler entity to its owner's hand until end of game. This is just hands down the best token generator because it's just potentially pay one, get 5 removal spells. Okay, you got it.
Also, contrary to popular belief, the gears part of this, not the flowers part, doesn't refer to the flowers being gears. It refers to them being Toyota Corollas. So
yeah,
very
for sure.
important.
Yeah, for sure.
You just get 5 of those.
100%. 100%. Mermaid also prevents Iga from banishing from the game. Oh, that's interesting. That's true. When it has to like either go to the bottom of the go to the EX area or banish itself for cheating it in. Blue, white, black, hide. I'm just saying.
Hi, Alejandro.
It's
Welcome.
a thing. Yeah, good to see you, Alejandro. Are they returning theme decks again? This card looks lovely. This set has the like gearified, corrupted entities of the 7 stars, being Nick, Tina, Maya, Brandhart, and Stein. They're like
all 5 of the 7 stars.
All 5 of the 7 stars. Well, Lenneth and Sebin are the other 2.
I know.
Those are already. Next up, we have Liberation of the Waters, which is just the same liberation as the other ones. The artwork, it functions the same. The artwork for this one is incredibly sad, but very, very cool. Yeah, like Falchion, like actively weeping. And then we have the Solarized Scepter, so the gearified regalia that draw a card, put a water addition of total cost water less from your hand into the field. So just like a quick cast grandfather's research study, like secret research, like mini. I mean, that's pretty sick. Like, that's a pretty cool Falchion buff for sure. And then we also have the Chrono Gear, which I thought that Life Sapper Chrono Gear was my favorite art. This is hands down my favorite of the Chrono Gear arts. This thing is freaking sick.
It's Mega Man.
It's Mega Man. It's Mega Man. But its thing is, its inheritance is get a flower gear token that has that banish ability, which means we have another way for Niklaus to have instant speed flowers, which is an insanely huge buff to Niklaus. Like, that's crazy to me. Yeah, very, 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 very cool. And it has the usual kind of buyback mechanic. So this is also a big Niklaus buff, which is really awesome. Considering it's not restricted by skills, you can't play without the right 7 stars? What do you mean? Oh, okay. Oh, considering it's not restricted, yeah. Because you just have to, like, get other things. Paul, what's all the thoughts on the blue cards so far?
They're all remarkably very similar to the other ones. So there's not really that much to say. Yeah. But it's really nice to see that, like, obviously getting Niklaus's Corollas as like a way to just say, like, here's 5 hydrangeas. Bounce.
There you go.
That's super fun. Cascade is like by far, like, the Mermaid is okay to me. It feels a little like engine-y to me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure exactly where I want to use this yet.
It feels like a nice replacement to Engineer, in the sense of just like it's serving not the same purpose, because like Engineer would like help you kind of recycle your additions, but it can serve a similar purpose of like, well, rather than recycle the addition, I can just banish the Mermaid instead, and it's in that 2-drop slot. But it's also inherently more fair because it's not just mastery unadditioned. Just any of them.
Yeah.
It works really nicely with Niklaus's flowers, though, right? Because all of the flowers want to banish.
Yeah.
So that's also nice.
You know what I really want to do with this card?
But I have... What do you want to do?
I'm playing an IU. I'm gonna use God's Art.
We're gonna
Knock
talk
things off
about
the
that.
top of the deck.
We're
I
gonna
know, but
talk about that in
I'm
just
talking
a
about
second.
OG, like real OG IU.
We're gonna talk about that in a second too.
Yeah. Because
Paul,
like
what's your
that's
reprints?
really what I want to talk about.
Yeah, for sure. Well, then let's do it. Let's move ahead because we got
Yes.
good old IU. Well, this is Rabbit Wave. We'll talk about IU first. So we got IU, liberated Shaman. She has the usual stuff that we've seen. She's got flying, 15/15 base stats. Her natural cost to lower herself is just revealing, just revealing souls. Don't even have to burn them. You just reveal them. I'm like, okay, that seems great. Like,
I'm okay with that.
You could just drop this lady on one. I mean, they have to share like different names, so that's inherently nice. You can't just be like, I have 7 souls in my hand. Whoops. But yeah. Gets to search for any copy of Rabbit Wave, has the one and only as the free cast God's Art.
It's one blue.
For those of you, for one blue. Well, yeah, but it casts.
Yeah, you pay one blue and then you put it on the Jays.
Yeah, so it's for those of you who don't know, one and only used to be is a non-quick cast spell that says destroy everything that shares a name with something else on the field other than stones. Making that quick cast is insanely potentially relevant. You probably play at least a one of in the deck just to have in your back pocket, especially because we have like, oh, you played 4 black witches into a pumpkin witch, one and only. I'll call Witch of the Fallen Kingdom, but like they're all gone, or stuff like that. So it's very interesting. You can't even sit behind hideout. Yeah, just go there. And then inheritance is search your deck for any soul. Just put it in your hand, just for free. Just any soul is fine.
See, Steven has the right takes, right? Steven has the right, like, I get that one and only is like the spell, but also like one of my favorite cards in Ray of Block, optional possession, also would have been a really good choice.
I'm honestly surprised it wasn't IU Sword Strike.
It doesn't match nearly as much.
I think it doesn't match. I think the reason why it's not IU Sword Strike is because you're very clearly intended to play a Solaris station and then cheat IU in, which means your deck isn't going to be singleton, so Sword Strike wouldn't be as good. One and only is a lot more meta relevant for now.
Just raw dog the Sword Strike in a deck with 4 ofs. Just
for sure.
Spend.
That's the one. Yeah, one copy of one and only in a deck that's a bunch of 4 ofs. Yeah, for sure. We're just gonna high roll it. That's the play. Jeez Louise. Also, this card art is gorgeous. I cannot wait to have full art playset of this card. It's gonna be amazing. It's also just cool to see IU like non-Ragnaroked and like be good. We saw her in New Valhalla, non-Ragnaroked anymore, but it's always nice to see her like in her not ditzy.
And now she's artwork, a Gundam.
Like, and now she's a Gundam. For sure.
Fowl really just said like, hey man, remember these cards? They're Gundams now.
Yeah, they're Gundams now. Next up,
I'm getting a real deep cut for some folks in the chat. This has got like real Tenchi Muyo vibes.
A little bit, yeah. It does have some Tenchi Muyo vibes for sure. Next up, we have Rabbit Wave. Enchanting skill, Rabbit, Soul, Legacy. So it is a soul. Keep that in mind.
Soul.
It's a soul.
Yeah, it's a soul. Banish up to 2, return up to 2 target non-magic stone, non-J ruler entities to their owner's hands. If you have the stacked under it with the Chrono Gear, your opponent cannot play cards that share a name with that card returned this way until the end of their next turn.
We talk about these rabbits in the artwork here.
Can we talk about how like they spent the budget on the Marvel for the IU artwork?
Oh yeah,
you're not wrong.
Like the artwork, the budget for IU artwork went into the Marvel Rare, not into Rabbit Wave. Unfortunately, they can't all be bangers.
Love your work, Ryuemon. I love the rabbits in this. That I ain't the same.
Can we also just talk about the flavor text of please take care of yourself. Self-care IU for win.
Yeah, for sure.
In the very next breath, freedom is never just given.
Yeah.
whatever that means.
Can't pitch it to IU though, sadly. Yeah, you're right. You can't pitch it to IU. Overall though, I mean, like the ability to lock your opponent out of being able to cast a spell is a very blue concept. The kind of stun thing. And also we already saw with the tap ability from the Chrono Gear is that it just says name a card at resolution. Your opponent can't cast it. So like that kind of stun element that we've kind of seen pretty traditionally from blue is very prevalent in these cards. I mean, because you can also bounce your own stuff and then it will still lock your opponent out. So in like a mirror, you could just recycle your own things while locking your opponent out of something, which I think is nice. It's pretty good.
Which Steven mentioned earlier could also just reduce the cost of your Ray Asnable. So there's that too. Just bounce your own stuff. My Ray's a 1 cost.
Yay. Yeah.
Save my stuff.
This is very cool card. I like this a lot. And then we have a couple more
concept.
We have a couple more spoilers that came out today. We saw the official artwork for Solaria, which looks very nice, and the artwork for her Jade Ruler side, which looks very, very nice. It absolutely looks like a beautiful 5-color card. The artwork is phenomenal. The coloring on it is phenomenal. But we also saw the Rainbow Solarisite, which is a beautiful stone. If you don't control a Solaris J/Ruler, a Gears or Solaris J/Ruler, it comes into play tapped. It gains Mythic if you do not control Solaria somehow, and it can do 5-color cost reduction. There were a lot of people who were worried about Solaria being able to play a diverse deck because of her only being able to play Gears and stuff. They solved it by building a honestly really balanced 5-color stone. Like you can play it at Ainz can play it, Olga can play it, Sieben can play it at a 1 of, and you like have this one back pocket 5-color stone because it's like their little red the pure stone, which I think is just fine. Solaria gets to play it as 4 of, and it's really nice to see another like heavy deck restriction, like deck build restriction ruler get a 4 of 5-color stone. That usually happens. Ragnarok got it, IU got it, Zeus got it. That was a mistake, but sure. Like Zeus was a mistake there was a mistake that they did that for Zeus, but they had that. But like, Solaria, she can't play anything. Like she can play Chance, but no like dudes that are like are gonna have their abilities. So it's cool that she gets this kind of stone, and it even works if she like gets killed and turns into Arc, because she still just becomes your ruler again, while Arc is your J ruler. So it'll still not have the Mythic. This is just a very, very, very cool stone. I like the design of it. I think it's great.
This card reminds me of a famous text that was once printed that said, "This card can produce any energy, but only one energy at a time." I was a young man back then. Those were the days.
Olivia gets it too? I don't understand.
Olivia got it too. I'm not sure what that means.
She's got a Rainbow Stone once a turn.
Because of Rainbow Stone once per turn not for randomness. Yeah, sure. Okay. That's true. That's true.
It's fine.
This stone is very, very cool. I like it a lot. I think it'll see play outside of Solaria with that like 1 of kind of concept for those Gears rulers, which is cool. But it's also really cool to see just her having 4 of it for sure. Also, like, I don't know that like Arc certainly isn't going to use this stone. I don't think, because Arc, well. If you're playing main deck Arc, is there a world where you play? I mean, you probably play it as a 1 of as main deck Arc. I don't know if you play more than 1 though. 20 stones, maybe you play 2 and feel fine if you lose 1 of them, maybe. Just to like have consistency. But also like Arc doesn't really care about will colors. He just like burns stones to do things. So it's like, I don't really care. So those lower sites are sun protection. That's true. That's very, very true. So I could see that maybe with Arc playing. Oh, that's an interesting idea for Arc playing the like good sun protection stones and then playing the like sack stones to go get sun protection stones. That could be kind of neat. He also likes replicants, so he's probably going to play Replicant Imul, which is neat as well. This is neat, and it's a cool card. That's a cool concept.
Neat.
Arc plays Tron Stones. I disagree, I think, pretty heavily, because his stones, until he flips, are never actually coming into the board, so the Tron abilities just don't matter. But we had a video today that
here it comes.
Did not know was coming out today. And my brain exploded. I almost cried.
It did. I was on the other side of the world, but also in the same place at the same time. And I got bits of like Jeremy meat like all over me as his body just went.
Yeah, I also play a Called Echo, who is in the UK, and when he picked up the phone, all I did was scream. He's in the chat. He could attest. I just went, ah! Like, he picked up the phone. He said hello, and I screamed. That was what happened today. So we have a lot of stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about from the top of the order. They gave us a lot of information about Pilgrim Memories. First up, they've said that it's a 180 card set. That's crazy. It's going to have a bunch of rulers. I think they showed like 20 of them. I think maybe I missed how many there were. I'd have to go back and recount. But they said all of these rulers from Grim Cluster are getting 3 new dedicated support cards. Brand new cards for these rulers. Plus, there's going to be extension rules to support those rulers as well. I just got the text. And then they showed off some of it, as well as other stuff too. So we're going to show off some of the cards that they've shown, these like new support cards that we're just going to talk about these real quick. So first off, please work. XSplit, don't do this to me.
I believe in you, XSplit. You got it.
I
you got this, XSplit.
It's doing the thing.
You got this. Come on, XSplit. You got this. Everybody, give XSplit your energy.
So here's the first one. Crimson Moon Fairy Tale, dedicated support for Grim. They just said that this was stuff in development, which is why the text isn't on the card, but is off to the side. So Crimson Moon Fairy Tale, 1 cost white regalia. If you would discard a fairy tale, you can discard this card instead. When this card is discarded, if you control a J/ruler with Grim or Book in its name, you can put it into your graveyard into the field. Rested, you can, whenever you discard a card, you gain 500 life, and you can rest it and pay 1,000 life to produce a color for fairy tales and or moons. And for 1 white and 1 red, you can contract it with Grim the Fairy Tale Prince only during main timing.
That's a lot of text on a card.
That's insanely good for Grim. Like, it's so good for Grim. And for like making high cost fairy tales like playable, because keep in mind this thing doesn't have mythic.
Oh, okay.
That's correct.
So if I have 2 copies of it, every single time I discard a card, I gain 1,000 life, and then I can tap one of them and pay that 1,000 that I just gained and produce will for a fairy tale. Or if I have 3 of them on the field, I gain 1,500 every time I discard a card. So high cost fairy tales, anyone? Very playable, which is crazy.
Or even like mid cost, because like there's some
mid cost 4 or 5.
There was some other support that spoiled like put a level 3 or lower into the field, which I was like, interesting.
Next up, we do have Grim getting a J ruler side because of the contract.
Listen.
So 700, 1,000 has Grim. You can pay the cost for not 7,000. We'll get there. You can pay the same kind of Grim ability. Enter, put a Fairy Tale Resonator total cost 3 or less from your graveyard into the field. Nice little reanimate to come with it. And makes the Grim discard ability bumped down to 0 cost instead of 1 white. Only once per turn. And then whenever you do it, though, you get 2 free +1/+1 counters. So this free cycling that you're doing every turn just also makes Grim bigger or something else bigger. It doesn't even have to be Grim. Damn. Like,
That's pretty good there, you know?
That's just, again, while I was watching this video, they showed a card, I read it, I screamed. That was the process. Every single card that came up. It was, what? Next card. That was me. Just like, huh. So we got more cards to get through, though, because we also have a lot of other news to get through that came out of this video. So, geez Louise. Feel free to just jump over me if you have one of these cards in particular you want to talk about. So this is Game of Lies, an edition that's a moon. Keep that in mind. It's a moon edition.
Nice for one cost moon.
One cost moon for Little Red. Spells named the first lie gain. Each player with the highest number draws a card, and each player without the highest number loses 500 life as long as this card's in the field. So it kind of like, if we all pick 0, we all gain draw 4 cards. We all draw 4 cards.
It's on. This is so needlessly confusing. They did not have to do this. I know they just wanted to shout out Alejandro, but it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah, and then we have enter. You can search your deck for the first lie, reveal it, put it to your hand. Banish it to heal an astral ruler you control, only if you control a ruler named Little Red Riding Hood. That is insane buff for Little Red. Like, insane buff for her. Being able to, because this is a moon, play it, flip her. Oh, you killed it? Cool. Banish it, reheal it, go into it. Like, and we're ready to go. Like, that's so cool buff for Little Red.
Game of Lies, get first lies, roamer them. That's super funny. I love that, Aradas.
Yeah.
Very funny.
Yeah.
All right, now to the broken card.
Not the broken card. Which one's that?
Hunter's Area.
Oh, Hunter's Area. Yeah, we'll talk about that. So Hunter's Area, I don't think it's broken. I think it sets up some neat stuff. So green edition.
You know something? Hang on. Wait. Can we just talk about the fact that I'm pretty sure this card being created, the Game of Lies or whatever the name of the card was, is pretty much just a secret way of saying, yeah, we let the guy who came in second twice at Worlds design his own card. We're just not going to tell you about it.
Alejandro, did you design that card? You telling us? Hunter's Area. Enter, put target resonator from any graveyard into the field rested under your opponent's control. It loses all abilities until end of game, meaning that it doesn't have its enter ability. If you do, you may put an elf resonator of total cost 3 or less from your hand into the field and give it belligerence, which means it can attack dudes the same turn it comes into play. Whenever an elf J/resonator you control destroys a non-human J/resonator, you draw a card. And at the end of your turn, if you control an elf J ruler, specifically elf J ruler, not elf J/elf J ruler, you may choose one. Return an elf resonator you control back to your hand, or put an elf J ruler you control in its owner area as a ruler. But you can tap it to choose a race and an attribute. The target thing becomes that race and attribute until the end of turn. If you control a Jade ruler named Helsing, the chosen target becomes a 100/100 until the end of turn. Play this ability only during main timing. I would like to point out that this immediately becomes a repeatable, a wonderful repeatable non-quick cast high-speed dash. Because you can just use its ability to make your own Jade ruler an elf and then flip it back over at the end of the turn.
This card's so cool. This card's so sick.
I love this card.
All I can think of is like, what stupid thing can I put in my opponent's field? I know it loses all abilities until end of game, so there's gotta be something we can do. What's a card that when it leaves the field, your opponent dies?
Well, I mean, it wouldn't have the ability.
Even if because it gets rid of it even when it's sent to the grave.
Yeah, because it would trigger on field. So.
Yeah, damn. They're stopping me from doing shenanigans. I don't like that.
Sorry, buddy.
It's okay.
Sorry,
Let's
buddy.
talk about how sick this artwork is, where it's basically just exactly Christie's art, but like saturated.
It's also like a mix
between
like it's just like taking Christie and putting her, like, blending Christie and Elvish Bowman into one card art.
Yeah.
Which I'm just like, also was a really nice throwback.
The
nice
shading on
little
this is
homage.
actually crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
very, very cool. It also is really nice. Like, this is just dedicated Christie support. Like, even as herself, this is really nice. Like Steven saying in the chat, you can use Vingolf 3 Christie to, like, in response to her own enter effect, make the thing like a darkness so that she can shoot it.
Yeah.
Or like like all kinds of crazy cool stuff. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do.
Oh, and you could use this on your own things to just make them into races and attributes. Get some. There's got to be something interesting to do with that.
Yeah, because
like,
it's choose a race and a attribute. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not choose elf, choose vampire. It's just choose a race, choose a attribute.
There's got to be some kind of shenanigan that I can do with that. There's got to be some stupid.
This is a very
combo.
cool card. This is a very cool card. I really like this card a lot. Refill Farer's counters. Yep, for sure. Yep, be able to reuse Farer multiple times. Like,
High-speed dash Farer was gross when it was the first thing.
This card has some pretty big applications, which I think in general is just really nice.
It's just such a fun, like, Swiss Army knife of, like, okay, I did 100 damage to that thing. Okay, now it's a 1/1.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Now we're going to go to Cheshire Cat, the Pilgriming which is just such a play on words. Instead of pilgriming, it's pilgriming. I love it. It's so dumb, but I love it. Double blue, 5/7. When this card leaves the field, shuffle it back in. If you may then put a Cheshire Cat Grinning Remnant from your graveyard into the field. Reason why this is relevant is because, as they've said before, if this card is stacked in a stack, the bottom cards don't trigger their when this card leaves the field ability. So this thing has 2 lives. So if you kill this, when it's stacked on top of a Cheshire, the Cheshire will go to grave, stay there, and then get reanimated immediately. So that's neat. And you can pay a blue and reveal it until the end of the game. So from your hand, it'll just stay permanently revealed. Search your deck for a Cheshire and put it into the field. That's pretty sick. If you have an Alice, any Alice, this just becomes a free main timing Cheshire Cat, which is great. And you can pay 1 blue to put it from your hand or graveyard into the field, stacked on top of Cheshire the Grinning Remnant, draw 2, and then shuffle a card from your hand into the deck. Did not have Let's Upgrade Cheshire Cat on my on my bingo card, but, like, pretty freaking sick upgrade for Cheshire Cat.
Like, I mean, listen, Cheshire Cat hasn't been relevant in years, and that thing was the most relevant card for years. Yeah. And now we've got, like, hey, by the way, let's make this thing relevant again, shall we?
Let's make a better Cheshire Cat. That also is not a better one. Cheshire Cat?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not a better Cheshire Cat. You still have to play the Cheshire Cat. It just happens to be 8 Cheshire Cats.
Yeah, double Cheshire Cats? But every Cheshire Cat is a second Cheshire Cat?
Oh, and you could put it into from your grave into the field stacked on top of the Cheshire Cat, which means you can pitch to Grim to get the search. Oh my god!
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Grim plus Alice tag, anyone?
Oh my god.
Play Grim plus Alice with Crimson Moon Battleground? Like,
yeah, that's nuts.
Not that this is like super relevant, but this would also go for, like, original Dark Alice plus the Regalia version of Dark Alice too, because you have Alice in the name. Not that you would need to do that.
Say Alice in the name.
The Regalia Dark Alice does benefit from Fairy Tales, so there's maybe an Esper build there somewhere. It does have Barrier.
And then you thought we were only supporting the heroes. We are not.
Oh no.
We have one other card that's already been spoiled of the new support stuff, which is Defiled Scripture.
Adam Brawley stonks. Adam Brawley stonks.
This card is insane. So, 1 black edition, Cthulhu Relic. If you don't control a Cthulhu, Demonic, or Fiend J-Ruler, it comes to the field tapped. Cthulhu spells or abilities with Incarnation cannot be canceled as long as you control a Cthulhu, Demonic, or Fiend J-Ruler. Just search your deck for a card with Incarnation. just fucking any of them. Adam Brawley, Nyarlathotep. Let's go. We're doing it. Rest it. Reveal a Cthulhu Resonator from your hand, or choose a Cthulhu Resonator from your graveyard. Put it on the bottom of your deck. Then put a 100/100 light, fire, water, wind, darkness Cthulhu familiar token for each will symbol in this attribute cost into the field rested. They gain at the next end of turn. This controller banishes it. If you put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck this way, draw a card. Literally just says, if you have 2 copies of the thing you want to incarnate. I don't care what your board state is, incarnate immediately.
Yeah.
That's so cool. This card's so
Nyarlathotep,
sick.
she has 2 darkness in her will symbol. Generate 2 tokens, incarnate the other Nyarlathotep. Great. Adam Brawley, same thing. Yogg-Sothoth, same thing. Haster, same thing. Literally, all of them work. This is like a massive buff to incarnation, which is so cool. I love it.
It's also a race Cthulhu too, so like you get ed benefits from that as well. I'm pretty sure somewhere along the lines.
Yeah,
like this thing is the sickest.
Means you can use it in
the
in Wolfgang 1 as well.
You also can use it in Wolfgang 1 and Wolfgang 2.
Yeah,
because he's a fiend, I think.
He's on his front side.
Yeah, I think so.
Are there demonic J-rulers?
Let's find out.
Yeah, this is and keep in mind, here's one thing we got to keep in mind, guys. Here's one thing. This is 6. This is 6 of them. There's 20 rulers, if I'm counting right. I'm pretty sure it was 20 rulers. It was
60,
a bunch.
Yeah, there's 20. It's every ruler in Grim Cluster.
Yeah, and then it's 3 cards per. So we've seen a 10th of the legacy support that they're bringing for Grim Cluster. Like, you thought Grim Cluster wasn't going to be relevant. You are incorrect. Like, jeez Louise. This is amazing. The real spice, it can grab Fingolf 3 Bahamut because the man has incarnate. That's true. It's true.
Nice. Oh God, Stephen.
It can grab Abel. It can grab Abel.
It can grab Abel. Yep, for sure. Like, the incarnate mechanic got a massive buff with this. It's super sick. Like,
I really like that it does refer to demonic and fiends, so it's not just like only a certain. This is okay. I'm gonna gush for like 5 seconds here.
You go ahead. You gush.
You do that, man.
I want the energy.
This is how legacy support should fucking work. Don't just say
Agreed.
If you're a named ruler, you get this bonus. You get to start with this in your hand. I don't give a shit about that. If you start with this card in your hand, you're looking at it. You're like, yes, I am. Not only am I Fiend of Darkpire, I'm also Wolfgang. I'm also Wolfgang. I'm also any kind of Cthulhu. You just like look at it and you're like, wow, I can put this into this new permutation of decks, and now you're suddenly just. It's such good ideas. Just do things in like a race, like
yeah.
Tie the races, cool. Tie the mechanics. Just it's perfect. It's so good. This is like this is my favorite kind of sport. Anyway,
yeah,
go ahead.
it's very, very
good.
So
I found the answer. Sure. The Fiend ruler that we have is Fiend of Darkpire.
Sure.
The demonic refers to both Wolfgangs.
That's what I thought. I'm pretty sure he was demonic. Yeah, that's what I thought. And then also Cthulhu, right? It won't work for Abdul, but you just like partner Abdul with someone else, and you're like
with Fiend of Darkpire, right?
With Fiend of Darkpire.
So the other thing that they announced is that not only will this set, so it's a 180 card set, it's gonna have ruler reprints, it's gonna have new extension rules, it's gonna have all these new support cards for these people, it's gonna have reprints from a bunch of different areas, probably relevant reprints from Grim Cluster, I would imagine, to get those into people's hands. We also know about the new artwork reprints, like we knew about that for a bit, but they also said, hey, we're also going to reprint a bunch of actual current era staples in this set. So just to show off, Dark Alice Rabbit Princess, Godly Aura, both getting reprinted again. Well, the Godly Aura has never been reprinted, so that's huge for people. And then also there's more. We know that Neverend and Lorite are getting reprinted in this set. Sure, sign me up. I'm for it. I'm here. Let's get those into new players' hands. That's sick. And then also we know about Allosaurus and another Garian, like even more Garians, but the Allosaurus invading for like Dark Tree and stuff. And we also know Amadeus the Holy Crystal. We know that if anything is to be believed about this set, it seems like maybe the reincarnation rulers from set 6 might also be in this set, along with their spells like Glint of Insight, One and Only, God Devoured, like DBV Gnarly, stuff like that. I couldn't quite tell from the video if that was what they meant, but if it is, dang, like that's really awesome. Does it have a release date? Are pre-orders available? Currently, no. It is.
We just found out about it, so probably not.
We believe it's sometime in February. The sell sheets have not gone out yet for this set, so pre-orders are not up yet. But that's a ton of reprints. So you'll need to pre-order. Yeah, for sure. That's the that's the way.
I'm a film nerd, so I'm gonna pre-order.
Stop. So, but yeah, tons of reprints coming in as well, which is sick. They did mention that they got so excited designing these cards that they designed more than they thought, so they ran out of art.
That's all I want to hear.
And so they also were like, so we're sorry, we're reusing some Valhalla art. And I'm like, oh, you mean the set that we never got in English? Sure, that's fine. Go for it. Like, I don't care.
They use that art for tokens already. It's fine.
Better than AR. This is a special product, so it's probably going to be like in between sets, and it's probably going to be something that gets printed to the ground, like I imagine the way this has been kind of designed here. I thought it was set for January release. It's either end of January, early February, I believe. I mean, as far as we know,
the most recent set releases got pushed back a little bit, so there's no telling if
that came out a couple days ago. Yeah, the pre-order, everything for set 6 has been pushed back 1 week. So just as a heads up. Listen, if there was a Force of Will set to pre-order, it is 100% this one. Like, do not miss out on this set. Like, it is going to be... They did mention that despite the higher number of cards, they are adjusting the way that the product is designed to make sure that the pull rates are adjusted accordingly, so that you will still be able to get the higher, harder to find cards.
That's good.
Even despite the 180 card set. Which, hear me out. If the execution on this is well done and the design team like gives us a good 180 card set, I would totally be fine with sets switching to 150 to 180 cards, like bigger sets, as long as it's executed properly. Like, I'd be down for that.
Radiant Cluster was a good experiment in this, but was initially a failure.
Yeah, this is their chance to try again.
Exactly, because if they increase the number of rare, like the lessen the number of like normal slots,
less normals, more others. Yeah,
exactly. That's what you have to do with this.
Yes, you will need to buy as much of this as humanly possible as a store to be able to make sure this stays stocked, because this is a product that will fly off the shelves immediately and is at like, I'm going to buy so much of it. I don't even care. I'm going to buy a case just to keep it sealed and be like, hi, it's been gone for a year. I have boxes. Welcome to Force of Will. Here's a box. Like, I'm going to get that insane about this product. Like,
you know something really funny? If Dan gets pre-orders enough of this set to get pre-orders going for him, he could literally just entirely reform the entirety of the Force Will community. And
it's crazy. Because like if it's a bunch of
crazy also for those... Don't screw this up, Dan. You could rebirth Force of Will.
Okay.
You could reincarnate Force of Will.
So we did get a couple other pieces of information. We're still not done.
Still not done.
Jeez. We're still not done. We got word that there are Aradas coming out of this set, and they did mention that these Aradas will be functional before this set even releases. So that with set 6's release, these Aradas will be functional. And again, it was a little bit hard to understand, but it seemed like these Aradas will be in Masterpiece Collection 1, so you can have the updated text, but I couldn't quite tell if that's exactly what they meant. The first one is that Homeland Cocoon will be permanently changed to be from hand instead of from sideboard.
it's
meaning
such a
that if
good
you do not see the
change.
cocoon in your opener, you do not get the free edition.
It's so
That
good.
is so good. And it probably means that Wall comes off the ban list.
Yep. When I was building a deck for Worlds, and I had to realize, if I want to play anything other than a ruler with Homeland Cocoon, I'm not. So here we are.
Yeah. So because
So
now if you open up Wall, it just replaces itself. It isn't a +1 for free at the start of the game. So there you go. So that's number one, which is, dear God, insane. We kind of like saw this coming maybe a little bit because Solaria's cocoon said from hand, not from sideboard. And Homeland isn't explicitly defined in the CR as like a keyword. So I'm not surprised by this, but I am very excited about it. The second big errata, which is the real big one, jeez Louise, was that Partner 2 is now shifting fully to Partner 1, meaning that you cannot have 2 children anymore. Now, they say here on the text, you can see on the screen, the current versus updated refers to specifically Partner 2 Moonchild versus Partner 1 Moonchild. And they say in the text, though, we restrict those rulers. We decided to make rulers with Partner 2, Partner 1, which brings up an interesting question of what does that mean for the Sun Children rulers? Are they also only going to be limited to 1? Which I kind of would be okay with them having 2, because he immediately goes into say there will be some rulers who can still play with 3. And so I was like, so Sun Children? But they're going to update it on the official website. But this just means across the board, if you were using 2 Moon Children, cannot anymore. You get 1. Pick 1. Pick one.
Good.
This is insane.
Light Moonchild. Got it.
I honestly don't even think I would pick that one most of the time. I'm going to pick Dark.
Yeah. Dark or Wind is also
Dark
okay.
or Wind. Yeah.
But based on Foulfest stats, probably just Light Child.
Unless it gets banned. But also I think that like people so here's one of the reasons why I think that it doesn't have to be just White Child is I think Foulfest showed already that people were adjusting to outplay White Child like pretty obviously, and like White Child kind of is in this weird spot where because of how deck construction has gone, it sometimes just feels bad. And you do kind of have to rely on the other Moonchild anyway to like still actually get the result that you want. And so that to me is like, do I want dedicated removal or do I want a situational if my opponent didn't deck build to respect this white Moonchild? And so I'm kind of like, I think I kind of want the free spot removal more. But you could always just sideboard to swap between them, which is fair, but also a lot more balanced and totally fine.
There's 2 different directions this could go, right? It's either we are intending to ban Light Moonchild wholesale, or we're going to see how this works. Maybe there's more diversity in the Moonchild pool because other people might think that the Light Moonchild doesn't get as much value if it's not next to something else. So maybe it'll be, reduced in number. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
And then they'll ban it if it's too prominent. So I can see that either way.
Yeah.
That makes sense from my perspective.
Overall, though, it's great because you guys will have to imagine not only on top of these erratas, we're also getting a ban list. Like a ban list is coming, right? So then it's like, oh, wow, this changes a bunch of my thoughts of what could need to be on the ban list and what can come off the ban list potentially. Like I said, Wall. And like that has me even more excited for the opening health, right? Like if we go down to this and we hit Phantasmal Ascendant and we do like some other thing to Killua and we like hit Flaming Thoughts combined with Cyclone, I'm like, oh, I think this meta is perfect. Like I think it just becomes like the most perfect meta it could be. And so now I'm just really even excited about that.
Even just in terms of deck construction, like I can think about how like going back to the cocoon thing, right? You're probably, if you're playing those in your deck, you're playing max copies if you want to see it, or you're not playing max copies at all, right?
Mika.
Right.
Mika's
So like
playing
Mika's
4
gonna
of her
play 4
homeland.
copies.
Yeah.
Is Aristella gonna play 4 of the wall? He's not playing Paramita, and he's not gonna play Eternal.
Here's a fun thing. The starter deck's fully legal now.
The starter deck is indeed fully legal.
Because the cocoons have to be in your deck. So now you don't have to worry about having a 39 card main deck for your starter deck.
Don't worry, Shunpo. Library's about to get yeeted.
We'll talk about that in a second. Library probably still deserves to eat a ban, but it certainly is about to lose a lot of strength because of one thing that's about to happen. First off, sure, Falchion can search for it, but Falchion doesn't just get a free edition and free extra will at the beginning of the game, so like it's naturally not as supported. Secondly, the stupid Diva stuff that, Diva plus Sacred Burial, like that stuff is not nearly as good anymore. And thirdly, only one Moonchild is drastically a hit to Falchion because like his early game kind of relied on Moonchild to be able to protect himself before he got his engine going, and now he doesn't have it. And thirdly, he doesn't get Feastings out the gate. Like Feasting just doesn't start free for Falchion. So like those are all hits for Falchion. But we'll talk about the other real reason why Library might be okay to stick around here in a second. It might still not be because of all the Solaris stuff, don't get me wrong. But one more errata. Well, 2 more erratas, but this one was the huge one. Our boy Ainz. So no longer can he reveal any gears. He specifically can only reveal a non-Solaris gear resonator with Solari in its name. So it cannot reveal anything other than shark, dragon, bird, squirrel, or bat. Cannot reveal anything else. No library, none of these additions from this newest set, not the ethereal to be able to banish a resonator and make your opponent lose 200 life. None of it.
Nope. I can't hit that.
Hey Mike, you know what they used to say about Ainz?
What they say?
You know what they used to say?
What they say?
He was number 1.
He was number 1. Schmidt, I named my deck Schmitty Werben Jaegerman Jensen because he was number 1. He was number 1.
He was number 1.
Falchion's gonna be fine. I think. Don't get me wrong. I think Falchion is still good. I think Falchion will still be good. I do think that Falchion now has to be built different and won't be just start of game as good as before.
Jeremy,
sure.
You're going to have to make a new Ainz deck featured on the channel, and it's going to be called
Done.
That's My Hat, Give It Back.
That's my hat, give it back. 2pin, where did we get all this information from the Moonchild update? The official Force of Will TCG YouTube channel. The video got posted today. You should go check it out and subscribe so you never miss those videos when they come out. So there's
like
that.
and subscribe.
Roderick's the champ. Roderick knows.
Roderick is the champ.
Roderick knows.
Yeah. And then we got one other major errata and kind of an announcement that kind of came with it before we jump into our kind of last thoughts about this, and then a game from Mike, which was that Dusk Girl is going to be errata to be a fire darkness ruler on her front side so that you can pull her in off of Solaris Station of Fire, which is great news for everybody. And they said that she's going to get a new extension rule that makes reincarnation work for her, which is also very cool. It has me, I'm excited for Scarlet players. Enjoy your unchaseable burn damage. Fuck.
Very cool. Thank you, Force of Will.
It's like, our bad. Here's an extension rule.
Yeah, for
Do
sure.
this for Emma. Do this for Sherry.
Do this for Emma would be great. Yep, Killua loses a child too. Yep, not being able to use Wind Moonchild does make her matchups against like Reflect Refrain harder for sure.
Following the one-child policy. Anyway.
Specifically Reflect Refrain for no reason.
But also, there's other matchups that she can struggle into, and not having the second Moonchild can impact her. So Geez, Scarlet, how am I supposed to let you have two Aradas? I mean, it's probably easy because it's gnarly and is his favorite character. Falchion is with the changing now behind Killua, but she will get kicked down, hopefully. Yeah, again, I mean, there's nothing to say that this ban list won't also knock down Killua a bit of a peg. Killua's nerf from losing a Moonchild is not as much of a nerf as Falchion's is, with all of the other stuff that's happened here. But, like, a ban of Phantasmal Ascendant would be a heavy hit to Killua, you know, like those kinds of things. The front side of Dusk Girl doesn't destroy the Witch of Quenched Fire. Also correct, because it's a fire card now, so you could be able to answer it.
Mm-hmm.
She has partner 2. She has partner 2. The rulers that were shown in the video that it impacted was in regards to the Homeland ability. When it scrolled all of the rulers past, it was talking to these are all of the rulers that are impacted by the Homeland errata. It didn't say, they didn't show any rulers that it would be affected in regards to partner 2. They just said all rulers with partner 2 Moonchild will be changed to partner 1. That would hit Killua. So, yeah. Killua for sure is going to lose a child.
I thought of you, Steven. When I saw this, I'm like, they're gonna, like, great. They're just gonna make Scheherazade the same, right? It's just gonna be the same.
Yeah, she's gonna be green black. She's fine.
Yeah, she's gonna be green black.
Right?
This, like, I think, in all seriousness of us pestering Holesizer in the chat, like, this video, when I was talking with, you can go watch M. Cole 40's video. He talks about how, when he and I were talking about the fact that iSpy is getting really, really good at making changes quickly and, like, responding to consumer feedback, he talks about the fact that he was impressed with some of the things I was already telling him about, like, the contract reprint packs, the box toppers, and everything else. And then to have his video talk about that, and then 3 days later, this video come out that is just such a clear and present, we are listening and we are going to improve this for you. I messaged our group thread. That's it. That's the game. All other games no longer exist. It's just Force of Will now. It already kind of was. It truly is just Force of Will now. Like, I cannot imagine ever leaving this game after getting this kind of a response. Like, this was so cool, and just, like, so clearly that they have been paying attention and listening and asking questions and thinking about it in a way that is truly respectful of the community. And I'm just so good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's refreshing to have a card game company say, oh yeah, we make this game so that you want to buy it, and
Crazy
so that it's
works.
fun and good and, like, weird. Yeah, let's just make you a good card game, right?
It's great.
A card game company that serves its players rather than monetizes their players.
A card game company that likes its players.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's the real sauce right there.
I was... Yeah, on top of the comment section of MQuotes, where like more people to draw the eyes back to the game. Yeah, for sure.
I like how original all the MCole 40 commenters are. Like, this game's still around. This game's still alive. And Jeremy commented on every single one of them.
Yeah, that's my comment. Just like, this game's still around. Yep, new sets have dropped every 3 months since the game's release. Like, hasn't been gone. And he and I have talked about that too. Like, Robbie and I talked about that, about, like, it is just about reminding people that the game exists. Because, like,
yeah,
when they try it, they're like, oh, wait, this is actually great.
Marketing won't do that. The community has to do it.
Now to deal with all the other people, the cancels, so people can run wind/other color decks. I mean, I think that there's plenty of ways to not have to play cancels right now.
There's literally an entire mechanic that's uncancelable.
It's significantly less skewed than it has been in the past. Green is still really powerful.
Changes,
but
the strongest green cancel decks are getting hurt by this. For sure.
Absolutely.
So that's, like, something to see about, like, what the impact is. And again, ban list incoming, so good to see a change there.
Homeland getting hit was huge to nerf Feetsing. Like, that card is no longer nearly as, like, I literally played Falchion at Worlds.
Still good, not nearly as insane.
I played Falchion because I read Featsing, and I'm like, nice. I get this for free instead of choosing Kilo like I should have, but that's fine.
Just play Lich.
Just play Lich.
Pulse are correct. Pulse are so correct. Incredibly
sure.
based in that take.
It's opt for sure.
Lich
okay.
posting's back, baby.
Lich posting number 1 for sure back. So, Mike, to close this out, you have a game for us?
Gentlemen, I do have a game for you.
Okay,
everyone in chat,
excited.
Everyone in chat, this will require your participation. We are going to be playing Force of Will, Never Have I Ever.
Okay.
Now, we will be taking Never Have I Ever's from chat. We will be reading them out, and if we have done it, finger down. I will also be taking a drink because I like to play dirty.
Okay.
Whoever's the last man standing wins.
Okay, chat. Mike, I will I will let you be the kind of moderator of this. Chat, Beautiful. You're in control here.
Have fun, everyone. You are in control of our fate.
Now Rag has too many cancels. That's so funny.
Here they come.
You slacky. I would encourage you to go back into our YouTube archive and watch. Just watch the stream, like near the end of day 1. That's why.
Never have I ever gotten a turn 1 kill.
Never.
Oh, so we put it down if we haven't done that, right? Or do we put it down if we have?
We put it down if we have.
Oh, I've never gotten a turn 1 kill.
I have. Yeah. Never ever topped an event. Gotta put that down.
Oh, I've done that.
Yeah, nice.
Never forgot my sideboard.
No, I'm good without that. I'm really good about that.
I'm good with sideboards.
Never have I bubbled out. Oh, have I bubbled? No, I've never bubbled out.
No, I never bubbled.
Not in this card game.
So are we saying lost? Is that lost a win in? Because if I lost a win in, that's me. I'll go down.
Eric's saying never ever played a deck solely because it's a negative play experience control deck. I did that for Worlds. It's great.
Nope. Have you ever destroyed your own attacker during battle, but after battle resolution step? Nope.
I don't think I have.
Taken 3 turns in a row. I've done that.
Yep.
I've done that.
German's can attest to that one.
Never have I ever lost due to deck out. I've done that.
I have not. That's something I still haven't done.
Never have I ever streamed at Worlds. You son of a bitch.
Get wrecked.
I'm gonna lose.
Never have I ever. Well, you want to be the last one standing. Never have I ever locked my opponent out of the game. I've technically done that. I did. I
don't think I've done that.
Oh no, I played TSW. That's right. I did do that.
Never have I ever played a main deck with less than 3 different cards. With less than 3 different cards.
Oh,
so like a. Oh, dang it! That's me too.
Sharks.
Gosh, dang it, Croco Sharks. Never have I ever played without protection. I've played without sleeves before.
I've also
Never have I ever hit a 6-stage stone off the top playing Excalibur Heroes. I haven't done that one.
I haven't done that yet.
Missed timing on stopping an enter effect.
Ooh.
Nope.
That's me.
Never have I ever had an unwinnable tree mirror. Haven't done that.
No, I did that in a tournament against Ryan Miles.
You had an unwinnable tree mirror?
Oh yeah, no, I was playing like a blue tempo deck.
Oh, okay. Miss lethal with a red deck. You son of a bitch.
Nope, I don't play red. I'm safe. All right, see you and me, Jeremy.
Never have I ever played Olivia 3 months in a row.
Paul put the finger down.
Dang it, Alejandro! Dang it!
Never have I ever dealt 4,000 damage for lethal with a single attack. I have not, because Prego TK's
I haven't done that
multiple
either.
attacks. It's multiple attacks.
Oh my god. All right, see you and me, Jeremy. Paul's behind. Everybody hit Paul down.
Paul gets to win if we get knocked out.
I know. Oh shit, you're right. Everybody target Paul.
Yeah, target me.
It's
like
not, the goal is to be the last one standing. Played a 1 cost after resolving an Exorcist Mage.
I don't remember ever resolving an Exorcist.
I don't think I've
destroyed
done that.
all of my opponent. You son of a gun! I just did that recently. I have destroyed all 10 of the Magic Stones.
I have not done that. Never missed a kill due to bad math and then lost next turn. God, Paul wins.
We're out. Paul wins. Paul is the victor. Paul is the victor. So I will say that is a funny story. Jeremy sniped me here because we played Cube once this past at FowFest, and I got my favorite card in the cube, Eldorado Pearlshine, but I also got some decent amount of the Flicker stuff. And in my round 1, the guy discarded Phaley to his graveyard early on, and I was playing Amadeus's or Asmodeus enchantment, which lets you reanimate from your opponent's graveyard. So I reanimated their Phaley and started cloning my Eldorado Pearlshine every turn. But then I also had the 5-drop Athenia that forces your opponent to banish a stone if they can't ban a Resonator. So I eventually just started cloning that. And I destroyed all 10 of their stones. Congrats, Paul. Congrats. Well done.
Paul, you win a lifetime supply
did I
of
really win,
my
though?
love and adoration.
Y'all had some like really cool milestones.
It's okay, buddy.
Maybe I'm just too fair. I don't know.
No,
you'll get there.
To be fair, Jeremy got targeted.
I did get sniped like 3 times.
He got stream sniped.
Like a bunch.
Oh man.
So we are gonna do we're gonna do more of these games to kind of end every night. That is Mike's job now on the podcast, is going to
because I don't play
like,
Force of Will.
I mean, you do. You're gonna play now, especially with Pilgrim Memories. Jeez Louise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But like, your job on the podcast is to bring us some entertainment here at the end.
Oh, am I being a blue player?
That's so sad.
That's true.
So
God.
So that's gonna be it for us for tonight. I think go watch the MCO40 video for sure. And like boost it in the algorithm to help get people to see it. We also have an unboxing like that's coming from Cyberknight 860. I think is like that over on a YukiTuber channel. We're gonna have them open a box of Crimson Moon Battlegrounds. We have that sorted out. Thanks to CCG.
I have not heard that name in probably like 10 years, I think.
And then we have another video with MCO40 coming out sometime in the next couple weeks. That's an interview where he and I sat down and got to chat for a little bit about FOW. So be sure to boost that. And just be on the lookout for more insanely cool stuff. I imagine the rest of this week will probably be more replicants, which I'm very excited to see more of those. And welcome to the new age. Welcome to the new age of FOW, because these Aradas are insane. This new product, Pilgrim Memories, is going to be absolutely insane. I'm so excited about it. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed it, hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for playing in the game. Thanks for Mike for coming up with it. And until next time, this has been myself, DMO73, and I've been joined by Paul Reisman.
Ate all my Katsu nuggets.
Good job, buddy. And Mike Rance.
If you have any game ideas, DM me.
Class dismissed.